Hey guys, Charlie Molenkamp here, and I was just going through my video library of recordings that I did, and I found one that I did about a year ago that I think is as relevant for you today as it was a year ago. And I wanted to share it with you today. It's about 20 minutes long. I hope you'll watch it, and that it'll bring real value to you as you move forward in your business. So here we go.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's call. Hope everybody's having a great week. I know we're down a month in here, so I'm going to make tonight's call short. And I might even get on my soapbox a little bit and rant a little, but I want to share some insight with you guys, and this might connect, it might hit home, but hopefully it passes some value on to you or somebody that you know that might be having some challenges or working in their business and not having the level of success that they're looking for. And what I want to talk tonight about is success. I wanted to do this last week, but I'm traveling right now. I'll be on the road actually until the middle of next month. I won't get home till about July 11th. So last week I was in an area where there wasn't good connection. I thought I had good connection, but it wasn't. And so I wasn't able to broadcast. But tonight I want to talk about that subject that's been on my mind, because I talk to a lot of associates about success. And it's interesting people's perspective on success and what it takes to achieve success. And this was a picture that I took when I was in Louisville, and my car's there up front. And my son, he looks at my Jaguar as an old man's car. And we went down for dinner and we parked, and this Aston Martin was in back. And I said, Charlie, I'm going to take a picture of that car. And he goes, well, don't send it to me and say, hey, look at that cool car next to the Aston Martin. So his perception of what success is and his idea of what he'd like being successful is different than mine. I mean, I certainly wouldn't mind driving the Aston Martin, but it's not really my cup of tea. But the point I'm trying to make is when most of us look at successful people, whether it's a successful woman or a successful man, we're looking at those guys and go, oh, how lucky they are. Look at everything just happens for them. But the reality is things don't just happen. And this is where a lot of people, a lot of associates get messed up. And you guys have probably heard me say this before. It seems like a lot of associates, when they sign that application to start their business, they're thinking, I just signed the application for the winning lottery ticket. And they look at success really like this screenshot that I've got here on the slide. I'm going to go from where I'm at to success. It's going to be one big leap. I'm going to be platinum 27 or a millionaire. And that's their thought process. And this is just going to be an easy deal. But the reality is success doesn't look like that. Success looks more like the picture or the image here on the right-hand side. And more accurately, success looks like this. Everybody thinks success is the left-hand picture, but success is really the right-hand picture. And it's full of all kinds of obstacles and all kinds of struggles. And most people are not into that. They don't want to struggle. They don't want to work at the level that's required to get to the level of success they want. Their goals don't match their commitment to activity or their commitment to the things that are really required to get to success. And so if you're going to be successful, and this just doesn't apply to business, it really applies to any area of your life. It could be physical fitness, it could be a relationship. It doesn't matter. A mind shift change has to occur in order to get there. So you guys have heard me say before on the calls, the amount of income you're able to earn within your comfort zone or within your skill set or within the amount of effort that you want to put in is what you're making right now. So in order to get to that next level, in order to reach a higher level of success, you've got to change your mindset. You've got to learn some new skills. You got to work differently, and you've got to apply yourself. And yes, you're going to fail, you're going to struggle, and you're going to have to sacrifice to make that work. But that's what it takes. And so when we're talking about success, and I really want to drive this point home because I talked to a ton of associates lately who want success, but then I don't see them, because I can monitor what people are doing within our training environment. I can see what people are doing as far as going through the courses. I can, based on production that people are reporting to me that we post in our portal, I can see what kind of activity people are having. and success people are having. And so what I see a lot of times is people are totally focused on what you hear at a lot of events and on conference calls and stuff. They're focused on that above the waterline, that success up there. And so what I really want to talk about tonight and get you to really understand, and I'm sure most of you already understand this, but we're almost in a state of denial. I understand that has to occur. I understand that I have to be persistent. I understand that I'm going to try new things, and it may not work the first time. It may not work the second or the third or the fourth. It may not work for a while. So I'm going to fail. And if I can work through that, then I'll be successful. And then sacrifice. Sacrifice is on the list. I can't tell you how many things that, even though one of our main focuses in being in business, when we were marketing plans, our main objective was to do this business so we could be with our kids. But in order to be successful in the business so that we could have that time with our kids, so that I could be there in the afternoons when they got off school and be at their practices and stuff, was during that time slot when we had to work, we had to work. But there were still times when we weren't able to do everything we wanted to. We had to be at boot camp in Atlanta, for example, and that was on a birthday or a baptism or a family event that we had to sacrifice in order to be there and get the information we needed or do the things we needed to do to move our business forward. So there's going to be some sacrifices involved in being successful. And there's a difference between successful people and what they were willing to sacrifice up front on the short term for the long-term benefit. And that's the challenge or the difference between a top producer and a non-top producer, is most non-top producers are not willing to sacrifice in the short term. And so what happens is they ultimately sacrifice in the long term. And so a mind shift needs to occur there. You're going to set goals. You're going to have things that you want to accomplish. I talk to associates all the time. I was just talking to a top producer yesterday, and she knew that she was going to close some business today. And I talked to her this afternoon, and she didn't get that business closed. I know for a fact she was disappointed because I've gone through that exact same thing. I know that business owner. I believe that business owner. I believe what they said they're going to close and then close. That's disappointing. So what happens? A top producer will say, okay, they didn't close. Tomorrow I'm going to go close somebody else. The non-top producer will get upset and disappointed, and they'll not go out tomorrow. They will not press forward because now they're disappointed. That didn't happen the way I wanted it to. So now I'm disappointed, and they sabotage their own success because they don't brush that disappointment off and say, that just happens. You know, in the training, I talk about anything that will happen one-off. There's going to be a lot of one-off disappointments in your business. But as long as you keep pushing forward, the successes you have will outweigh the disappointments. Discipline. Top producers discipline themselves to work a work schedule. They discipline themselves to prepare the night before. They discipline themselves to do the things necessary to be a top producer, where non-top producers don't do that. And top performers know that there's hard work involved. And it doesn't matter what level you're at in your business or in success, hard work's required. The work is different though. So in the beginning, it's a lot of tedious, time-consuming work, and it's very difficult. It's kind of like working out at the gym. You know, in the beginning, when you're like I am, out of shape and overweight, at the beginning, it is hard work just to go and do a simple routine, to just go work out every day. But if you do that on a consistent basis, pretty soon, that's not so difficult, and you continue to benefit from that hard work that you put in. And then dedication. We've talked about in our trainings, and I talk about this all the time, knowing what the dollar amount goal you guys are trying to reach on a daily basis is. A daily basis, actually a monthly basis broken down into a weekly goal, and then a daily objective that you're trying to accomplish. What is your dedication or commitment to doing that? In Louisville, I talked about your level of success is going to be directly related to your commitment to earning that dollar amount that you say you want to earn. How committed are you? How important is it or critical is it that you reach that dollar amount goal? If it's critical to you, then you'll do it. If it's not that critical, you'll put it off and you'll not achieve that goal. And so what most people that are looking out at success and are looking above the water and they're going, oh, look at that person. Look at what they're able to do. God, they're so lucky. It just is so easy for them. I wish I could do those things. But then when you peel back the backstory, I don't care if you sit down and you talk to Darnell Self or Brian Carruthers or anybody in the business, when you find out what their backstory is, what they actually had to do to get to where they are, most people would say, there's no way I would do that. But that's why they're where they're at. And most people will never get there, is because they're not willing to sacrifice and commit and persevere to get to that level of success. And here in this program or marketing biz plans, there's a system. There's a system in each division of the company. If you're willing to master it, if you're willing to commit to the work, you can be successful there. But it requires you to first understand what you're trying to accomplish. And it's not going out there and doing some, okay, they say I got to do 10 exposures, so I'm just going to do 10 exposures and be done for the day. And if I just do that every day, I'll be successful. No, it's not the exposures. The goal is not the exposure. The goal is the outcome, which is to get a recruit, to sell a biz plan, to start a group. That's the goal. And to get referrals from that person, whether that's from sitting down and helping your new recruit create a names list, whether that's sitting down with that HR person or that decision maker and say, what other companies do you know that I can go share this service with their employees? Or whether it's sitting down with your new business plan client and saying, what other businesses do you know so that you can continue to expand your business? That's what the goal is. Sign up new members and get referrals so that you can sign up new members. That's the goal. Everything else that you do on a daily basis is in support of that goal. The activity, the contacting you do is not to contact for the sake of contacting. It's for the sake of signing up a new member and getting a referral. And so when you're looking at this slide here, it's not about just going out there and being active. That's not what it's about. And don't buy into the hype that if you just stick and stay, if I just show up, then I'll somehow be successful. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen, what will allow you to be successful, is if you master and commit to the things below the water, the things that most people don't see, they don't even want to know about. That's what will drive you to success. And so it's about mastering these things. It's about knowing who your target audience is. And it doesn't matter. I mean, we're talking small business on this call, but if you're doing group sales, who is your ideal target for a group sale? You don't need to talk to anybody other than that ideal target. Who is your most likely person to sign up for the business? That's who you need to be talking to. Everybody else is irrelevant. And then how are you going to have that conversation? Now I know who I'm looking for, but now what do I say? You need to be able to master that if you're going to get good at this. And then you need to actually go out and put the numbers in to contact enough people so that you can get the number of sit downs that you need, so that you can do the number of presentations you need, so that you can close the number of sales you need to generate the commissions that is going to make you successful. That's what's required to be successful. And you can look at what I've accomplished over the years, and I've got a few nice things. But those things came from the backstory. Recruited from a magazine, was told to go get certified and everything. We did. We were excited about small business. In fact, at that time, we needed to do small business. That's what we should have started to do right away. But our sponsor, who was successful, said, what we do here is recruit, because he had already mastered that, right? He was already on track. Moving forward, he's a $500,000 income earner right now, our upline ED that was coaching us at that time. But we needed income right now. And so what happened was we recruited up to director, still were falling behind our bills, struggled to keep ahead of our bills, and we had some financial challenges there that would have knocked most people out of the business. But instead of knocking us out of the business, instead of that disappointment coming from that situation, ending what we were doing, it motivated us. Instead of it being our excuse, it became our reason. And we focused in on what we needed to do and became successful. So what I want you guys to take away from here is top producers don't avoid the no's, top producers get more no's than non-top producers. Think about that for a second. Top producers get more no's than non-top producers, and that's how they get more yeses than non-top producers. And so if you're out there thinking that success is some easy thing, it's not. It's work. Success is cleverly hidden from people that don't want to work because you have to earn success. And everybody has to pay retail for success. And so if you're trying to avoid the no's, then you're never going to get to the number of yeses you need to make your business work. So it goes back to the tracking. How many numbers are you actually putting on the board? And you should be tracking your business no matter what division you're in. If you're selling small biz plans and recruiting or doing group and recruiting or doing group and small, whatever you're doing, you should be tracking each one of those income streams to be able to identify where you're having successes and where you need to work on your skills, where you need to work on your activity. Your tracking sheet will tell you everything you need to know to move your business forward. So don't avoid the challenges, don't avoid the work, don't avoid the learning the new skills, don't avoid the no's. Go out there and look for those things. Go out there and look for the challenge. Go out there and look for the no's, and go out there and look for the work to get out there and put the numbers in so that you can have the number of contacts that you need to do the number of presentations you need to get the number of clients or recruits or groups that you need to make this business work for you. All right. And then once you've done that, what's your post-sale look like? Now that you've got a new recruit, now that you've got a group, now that you got a small business owner, what do you do next? Are you working with those people to fulfill the commitment you made when you got them started? And if you do fulfill that, if you do work with those people, then you will get referrals, you will get names lists, you will get more groups because of the level of commitment you have in your business. And that will lead to more prospecting, more presentations, and more sales. And so the thing is, a lot of associates, they look at that and they go, oh, that's work. I don't want to do that. In fact, I remember when we first got started, the guys, I didn't think he's in the business anymore at all. We were trying to help him do some small business sales. He go, oh, no, that's too much work for me. I'm just going to recruit. Like, recruiting's not work. It is work. It's just a different kind of work, but it's still work. One of the things that has amazed me as I've talked to associates across the country at different events, online and on phone calls, is the small amount of money that would be required from their business to allow them to walk away from their job. And so what happens is they don't want to put that time in. They don't want to sacrifice. They don't want to dedicate or commit to their business. They want to just kind of do it as a part-time hobby thing. And so what does that require? I don't want to invest. Somebody posted this on the Facebook the other day. They said people won't work for 2 or 3 years to build their business, but they'll work the rest of their life for 40 years at 40 hours a week for somebody else to work a job. So that's really your alternative, isn't it? You either work your business like a business, you show up every day as your job, which is to run your business and be successful, and then you can set your own hours. You dictate what you do, or you go get a job. And then you show up for work every day. They tell you where to sit, when you can take your breaks, when you can take your lunch, when you can have time to go to your kids' events. That's what a job does. It dictates that, right? And even in your job, if you're going to be successful in your job, if you're going to move forward in your job, you still have to do all the things that are below the water level, don't you? You still have to be persistent with your job. You still have to try new things. You're going to fail at those. You have to sacrifice some time. If you've had a job before, how many things did you miss for your kids or your family because you couldn't get time off work? How much time? How much did you sacrifice to have that 40-hour-a-week job? You're going to have disappointments. You're going to have to discipline yourself. You got to show up for work every day on time or you get fired. Your boss expects you to work every day, and he's tracking what you're doing, right? He's got his own tracking sheet at work. I've got one associate that I work with down in Arizona. He works for Amazon. He works in their warehouse. They track how many packages he pulls per minute. That's some serious tracking, and your boss is going to ride that. So that's the alternative. You either are going to do all of those things, track yourself, follow a system, and do all these things below the water for yourself in your own business, or are you going to do them for somebody else at a job? Those are the two options. And you've got to decide which one is going to work for you. And I can tell you from experience, if you'll commit to your business, if you'll work it like a business, treat it like a business. And when I mean treat it like a business, one of the things our family thought when we got started in the business was self-employed meant unemployed. But what it really means is you're employing yourself to run your company. And if you're willing to show up and do that, then you can have the things that successful people have. If you're willing to run the roads, put the numbers in, commit to your own success, show up, suit up, and get to work, you can have success yourself. And you can do things that successful people do, but you've got to do all the other things they do too. All those things that lie below the water that no one else sees, by associating and connecting and sticking with those people that are running the roads and having success and understanding what those things are under the water that they're doing and emulate those things, do those things, master those things, then you can have all the things that everybody sees above the water. But you've got to be able to do those things. And that's really the message that I wanted to share with you guys tonight is I see so many associates that are trying to find that winning lottery ticket. They're trying to find that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And you'll spend the rest of your life chasing that when if you just apply yourself, and all of you guys are capable of doing more in your business at whatever level you're at. You're all capable of doing more, but it just requires you to take that next step, that next level of commitment, that next level of work. And it's not harder work as your business expands. It's smarter work. It's different work, but it's still work. Work is required to be successful. And all of those things, your persistence, continuing to show up day after day, no matter if you have disappointments, no matter if you fail, those should be learning experiences. Okay, what happened today that caused me to fail? How do I overcome that tomorrow? What happened today that caused that disappointment? How do I fix that in tomorrow's presentation or in tomorrow's activity? If you're willing to do those things, you can evolve your business and yourself into that top producer, that top income position that most of you guys want. But it requires discipline. It requires hard work. It requires dedication to your business and to your goals. And then all that has to be done while you balance all the other things in your life. So if you're going to do all these things in your business, you have to do all these things in your health. You have to do all these things in your family. You have to do all these things with your religion. You have to balance that. And the more the better you get at balancing that. We have that wheel of life that we go through in the January event. You have to measure where you're at in each one of those areas and make adjustments as necessary so that you can keep that thing in harmony. And that's how you continue to build out and be more and more successful. It's not from a winning lottery ticket. If you look up any of those guys, most of them lose that money right away. It's from learning, it's from working, and it's from evolving, committing to the work required to be successful. So what I'd like you guys to do is I'd like you guys to really evaluate what's going on in your business. Really evaluate what happened in June. What successes did you have? What caused those successes? Make note of that so that you can try and duplicate that in July. What failures did you have? What caused that? So that you can avoid those in July. And spend some time to really evaluate what's going on in your business, how you can make improvements. Do that on a regular basis. But try and create a game plan for July to move your business forward and not duplicate the same errors that you've had in the past. Don't continue to pull those forward. Leave those in the past. Learn from them and overcome those in the future. And that's how you can evolve and get to that level of success that you're capable of getting to. So don't make the mistake that most people make, that thinking success is something that people get lucky about. Success is what you work for and what you commit to. And I know all of you guys are capable of that. So spend some time to evaluate what's going on in your business. If you're having challenges you don't know how to solve, email me, text me, instant message me through Facebook, however you can get a hold of me. Let's sit down and have a conversation, and let's make July your best month in this business. Guys, immerse yourself in being a better business owner, in being a better entrepreneur, in working smarter by learning, commit to putting the time necessary to be successful, and make July the best month ever because you pull together all the things that you've learned from your failures, from your disappointments, and from your successes. Pull them all together to create a great plan for July. And again, if you're having struggles, reach out to me so that we can have a conversation and I can help you with that. Other than that, guys, have a great end of the month. Go out there and knock them dead. And let's make July the best month ever. All right? See you guys next week.